Hello, everybody. I hope the sound is good. Actually, I forgot to check. Let me check the settings real quick. I have no issues with the sound. Sometimes, there we go. Now it should be fine. All right. I hope everybody's, having a wonderful, well, closure of 2024. We're getting closer to the end of the year. We're basically almost done with. We have what 2 days left. I mean, we're almost there. Let me get rid of that stupid banner so we can see things better. Alrighty, let's go. Let's look at today's price action. I mean, some people will call that exciting, and I will say, sure, that is something, but it is. I hardly call this exciting because if you objectively look at this, like I said, if you zoom out just a tiny bit, you realize we've been range bound for quite a while. In fact, we've been testing these very same ranges multiple times. You can see such as here, even right here, and will it get that far? Even right here, you can see. So the current ranges that we are in are not unfamiliar to us, nothing new, so to speak. We're kind of doing the same old thing. But well, what is the narrative really saying in terms of momentum? Where are we headed this time around? Are things any different this time that we are visiting on this? By the way, I forgot to say hello to Casey, Leo, Blackberry, Christoph, of course. How could I forget? And hello to anybody else who is out there in the background and I don't know that you're there. And shout out to all of you legends. By the way, shout out to all the new members that joined the community. We are actually making some decent numbers in terms of how quickly people are joining. And guys, don't forget that the Discord thingy will be locked soon, and don't forget to sign up and don't miss out on that very cheap price that we have right now. Definitely use that Xmas. Here it is. Use that promo code so you can get a 40% discount joining the community, hanging out with us today. We actually had a blast of a hangout on the Discord. My Discord is 100% private, so it's imperative that you will be a member, a Patreon member at least, or an Academy student to be able to join the Discord in our awesome hangouts. That's that. We're done with the nonsense pluggies and stuff for now, at least, and let's go look at the market. Market is, again, like we said, we're not all that exciting. We've said that we will potentially see some correction, but do we still have enough momentum to make it higher? We said towards 6,120, 30, 40, 50, even maybe potentially throughout this process. Yes, we can, as you can see right there. Just normally following the channel within these 2 days that we're left with, we can reach 120-ish, call it. I mean, if we will be rather swift, it will. Greg, can we actually do that within a single day? Well, let's look at this. 5 minutes, which is far more indicative of what we're about to see in the final minutes of today's session, maybe pre-post market for tomorrow, but maybe a little bit part of what will play into tomorrow's gap, or really nothing all that substantial. We are in oversold conditions, thus potentially taking us lower to that very same low that we already tested today before. Right here, maybe testing that wedge. It's not going to be all that surprising, right? So we're still looking at roughly around 59, 48, 49, 45, 43, kind of within these ranges. That makes sense based upon what we're seeing right here. We have roughly about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, all in all, 34 minutes left. So again, very tame, since this is sort of a pushback on that 5 minutes. Again, I doubt we can actually push below that 59, 49, anywhere substantially. We're probably going to end up closing today's session on that level. So again, all in all, at least so it appears, that today's session was, I hate to say it, but still sort of a nothing burger. It felt very rapid because of that gap that we opened up in the morning. Took us down significantly. Then instead of closing the gap, as we're familiar with the market having a bit more of that normal behavior as closing the gap, that gap wasn't all that big, to be honest. Sort of ignore it, but I guess the momentum was already. Some people, I was just before I got onto the live, Leo was saying tax harvesting. Basically, there's a lot of things that could be playing into this, but really, you know, I would doubt that this is sort of the main reason we've been seeing the price action moving within the current channel that we've been in on for quite a while. So, I mean, that very same resistance, I don't think we've seen today anything too substantial. It's just a regular day of trading. The market just overreacts as it tends to. Can we make it to 59.09? Let's see if the current momentum is actually indicative of the ability to drop lower. So, well, we are obviously testing median right here. That kind of makes sense. We can see how the price action is testing currently the median level of this channel. So we're kind of familiar with it. We already ended up establishing it a little while back. Okay, in the beginning of the month, like that. You can see that. So, and we've said we're potentially establishing a new channel, and now we're confirming, at least we have some level of confirmation of that channel being established and retest. In fact, this low is very indicative that this channel is very correct and objective. Aiming to the downside, looking at the 45 minutes, again, that sort of confirms to us that we cannot break below that 59.49, let's just call it 59.50. So, I mean, again, for today's session, it doesn't appear that we will have any special surprises towards the end. I believe we'll just be stuck within that sort of little cubicle that we have, and maybe testing that range right here, as we said, that median, which again, not surprisingly so, sits roughly at around 59.53, 59.50. So just kind of this whole area that just confirms that. Let's see what we can see actually outwards beyond today, since this is what we're looking at. It's mainly today. More objectively, well, what are we looking at for next week, and maybe just right after Christmas Eve? We have New Year's Eve. Sorry, we have. Actually, it appears to be that we're far more bearish than bullish. We're already starting to overturn right here below the 80 range, which we know is sometimes very indicative of not allowing us to have an actual bullish trend. So this is actually becoming bearish very, very quickly, and it's not just today's price action. I would argue it was already this process of overturning in the previous days. So not just today's gap, all in all. I would argue that what we're seeing here is potentially bringing us down to the bottom of the channel right here again, as if we've tested that median, and instead of being able to push to the higher end of the channel, in fact, we're confirming our sort of current predicament by residing and testing again the lower level. That's very indicative of a breakdown below that 59.49, 59.50, call it, back to our 59.09, testing that channel on the bottom, giving it some support right here. That is very, very, very potential. So in fact, what we're starting to see here is that we might not recuperate any bullish momentum before the end of the year actually arrives in 2 days. So actually, it starts to see like within the following sessions, we're going to be far more bearish than bullish, at least at face value. Let's see what we can see on the daily. How does the daily look like? Well, daily is not necessarily bearish yet, but we are starting to see a decrease of that bullish momentum via the divergence of the two forces, the K and the D on the stochastic RSI. We know what happens when the D takes over, basically that red line. It is indicative of having more bearish momentum spilling into the market, slowly bringing it lower into oversold territory. And also, I would like to take some of your attention to this 50 level range, which is very important. When the indication from the stochastic RSI resides below the 50, it's very indicative of a continuation of a downtrend, not a bullish trend. So this is actually very indicative of more pain to come within the following sessions, rather than bullish momentum, rather than pleasure, right? So, I mean, depends who you are, right? If you're a short seller, you might benefit on this. If you're a buyer, obviously that's going to be very unpleasant. Weekly chart. Well, how does the weekly chart did not readjust yet? In fact, it looks even more bearish than before. Via the divergence of the forces, the more the divergence is larger, and the force that is dominant, the more indicative that that force will persist and in fact will amplify. So our weekly actually confirms what we see on the daily. Our weekly is a lot more bearish. In fact, the way our weekly looks like is it's as if we can easily start bringing this price action, given the fact that we are crossing the 50 range, again becoming more bearish and more indicative of a bearish trend. We can easily see ourselves within a week time moving towards that red bubble that I've mentioned, and well, maybe in the sort of further end of it, right? But still end up at around 5,700 within the following 2 weeks, giving us entrance to this bubble nicely. Again, not perfectly centered, but you get the idea. Maybe also I predicted it slightly early, but then again, you get the idea. It's better to know about the potential trend and maybe being slightly early than not seeing it all together. Resistance is futile. Absolutely. That is, jokes aside, I think resistance in this instance will play its role very neatly. We are kind of seeing it on the candlestick right here on the weekly already. You see how this candle got sold back down all the way below the median, and so the resistance is back basically doing its job, not allowing the price action to break through. Some people were hoping, I guess, and talking about the Christmas rally. I would say, boys and girls, it's a bit too late. And in fact, how can you know we didn't truly get some form of a Christmas rally if the momentum would have been so negative? So that bullish momentum from the Christmas rally actually allowed the price action to remain more flat or positive rather than just going negative altogether in advance. You see, so really you did get some, potentially you did get some form of a Christmas rally. And in fact, I would argue that the Christmas rally at this point just happens naturally every year. It's just that under the conditions, under the volume, under how people project and see the market, the sentiment, if you will, you get maybe different results from year to year. Does that mean it doesn't happen? No, it happens naturally at this point. It's almost like a Black Friday kind of deal. Hello, Next Level. Good to see you. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you all for joining. We're actually having quite a boring day today. I'm sorry to say. That's just the reality of things. I hope you enjoyed and hung out with us today in a hangout. We had a really cool hangout on the Discord, talked about all sorts of fun things and conspiracies and whatnot, having some fun with tinfoil hats, if you will. But also spoke about the market a little bit, just kind of this really cool hangout. And because I felt like today is not going to be all that interesting, and I think we kind of squeezed out the majority of the momentum in the beginning of the session, so I felt like it's going to be a little bit more fun to have a hangout. Some of the members are here. Of course, you can kind of ask them, but I highly recommend you join us in future hangouts, and you'll know exactly what kind of a madhouse my Discord is. It's a fun place, though. Blackberry, there you go. Hello, Blackberry. 10 plus watching and just 2 likes. Please support the legend with like. I appreciate that. Actually, to me, it shows like we're closer to 20. I know YouTube is not consistent with how things work. Tinfoil helmets, absolutely. We're so hardcore, we don't even use tinfoil hats. We just go straight forward, with the tinfoil helmets. Hardcore, absolutely. The likes are not updating. Sometimes you need to refresh the page. Likes, people are stingy. They want to keep the likes to themselves. They want to give me likes for some reason. I don't know why. But don't worry. Soon when the market will crash, everybody will remember who, I hope, will remember who was the only one who was actually saying it and telling you how things really are, rather than, peppering with some sugar coating, I guess, with candies all the time and trying to make you think that everything is fine and dandy, while reality is completely the opposite. And maybe then I'll have some viewers, and many likes. Right now, it is what it is. It's a cope. I'm coping. It's a coping mechanism, do you do you have fiber? They're asking if you see, useless. It's the internet not updating. It's a skill issue. That's a reference to good YouTuber I really like to watch. It's a skill issue. My skill with YouTube is not good enough. Maybe if I'll have an OnlyFans, I'll have more viewers, more people will care about the market, you know, about the retirement funds, in essence, regardless, you know. Um, yeah, so boys and girls, this is actually the last Friday of this, 2024. So happy Friday to you all, right? Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I mean, honestly, I don't think we should expect anything that substantial. We might see, like I said, and look, so far the market is moving neatly towards the direction as expected. It might stretch this whole process out just into the end of the session, and so we'll end up still residing at around 59.50, just as predicted. Not very exciting. I mean, I know people probably expected me to go live and say, guys, the end of the world is coming, sell everything, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I'll never say that. You're all adults. You should do whatever you think is right for your portfolio. I can only present to you what it is that I'm saying and what is my point of view and opinion about it. But really, honestly, I guys, when the real action will start, I promise you, none of us will have any doubts. Will not be like nobody will be asking me, Greg, is this it? Is that the thing? Is it has it started? I promise you, we will all know. We'll have no doubt about it. We'll get meet up on the Discord and say, yep, this is it. This is definitely it. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. Good to have you around. Again, thank you all for joining. A tremendous thank you for all the new members who joined the Discord. A quick reminder, join Discord before the thingy runs out. The thingy, I mean the Xmas thingy, right? Sign up because with the end of the year in those 2 days, what are we talking, 3-4 days, whatever, all together, I will be locking these tiers down forever, and you'll never be able to sign up to this tier. So use the opportunity. Definitely sign up for the annual subscription. It will make things easier for you. Use Xmas. Use the promo code Xmas40, so it will be cheaper. And yeah, and you'll be grandfathered in with this price basically. I'm not sure whether it's retained for just a year or actually forever, but what is for sure is that you'll never be able to sign up for as cheap as this. And this will also give you founder's badge, which will mean quite a bit in the future. It's an investment, right? It's an investment, and so yeah, the yield will come later. That is that. Use also when you do join, make sure you realize that all the action is done on Discord. You'll have a direct link right here how to join. You'll get a personal message. Join us. Don't forget to link your accounts and make sure you do use the very same email for both accounts. When you do join, make sure you go to the FAQ channel. Very important, actually. I realized again, I didn't say that in a while. Do not use Discord on your browser. You're bottlenecking your browser with the Discord and your Discord with the browser. So that kind of is not the right way to go about it. Definitely you download the application, install it. It will work far better, far quicker, and more efficient on your computer. Don't forget to go to connect your accounts right here using this link. It will take you to the exact menu you need. You have alternate methods if you need, and all the instructions and information if you're a YouTube member. Although please don't sign up on YouTube. Please sign up on Patreon if you decide to sign up, please. In fact, I'm actually considering on closing the whole YouTube member thingy, because they are really not cooperating with me all that well. I mean, the membership part doesn't mean I'm not going to make videos and all that. I'm not going to be uploading. It's still going to be all the same. It's just that I'm not going to have memberships on YouTube. Price action is slowly creeping to the expected destination, 59.49, 59.50. Really, we understand that this 59.49 probably is an outcome of inaccuracy from that 59.50 and some slippage, and so the volume just ended up sort of positioning itself just slightly below the number itself, and thus just kind of having this misleading level. There you go. Just as I said, just as we expected. Nothing all that surprising. And I don't think we're going to see significant price action below that level. Even if we're going to have some slippage, it'll probably correct back up, finalizing the session to around 59.50. That is it. Again, like I said, there's not really much to see here. If we're looking at Palantir again, no big surprises, right? We're kind of seeing exactly what we said to the other side of the channel, right? Still has enough time potentially to squeeze back up to that 88, as we said, right? 88, 89, easily 90. Give it a good day. Maybe we'll have some slippage to 91, 90, 90 and a bit. It's really hard to see the price action actually making it to 100 based upon how far we are and how much price, sort of, what kind of momentum will require. Although we are seeing that we are bullish on that momentum, of course, makes sense since we're reverting from that bottom of that channel. And so potentially within the next sessions on Monday and Tuesday, pardon me, we'll have a little bit of that bullish momentum. Maybe it'll not be sufficient, and all that bullish momentum will be able to do is creep us back up to that 83 median level on the hourly range. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it does not appear that we're exploding in terms of momentum. In fact, we might spend some more time here on Monday, and so only Tuesday will then get back that bullish momentum, and then will allow you to maybe make it back to 82, and that's where the year will lock. So it does appear that we are running out of momentum on all fronts. And it might be so that we're not going to make it even any higher than this, simply because the structure of the momentum, don't forget to notice what's going on right here. We're more bearish than bullish, objectively speaking, right? We're in oversold conditions. And so it's far more likely that we'll end up, like I said, testing this 76 before we test back up to 79. And maybe through the session, if it's going to be very, very, very heavy in terms of volume, might even make it to 82. Back. So again, not that significant. That's it. That's kind of Palantir for you. What is Tesla? Same thing. Not all that surprising. Again, the bottom of the channel. And we might not even see, any positive momentum. Don't forget that if, considering where we are at right now in the channel in terms of momentum, if we're already low, we might easily just see some of that breakdown that we were saying that we'll see soon. And we're going back to that, you see, perfectly marked in advance, you see, made it in advance, like these cooking shows, right? 414.50. I'm assuming right now I'm going to look at the chat, and maybe the numbers of viewers, just everybody dropped, right? I've been saying things that people don't like. It's an investment, but I'm not an investor. Yeah, Casey. Love the Patreon anyway. Never gonna leave. I hope so, Casey. You definitely have been an OG member since we got this whole ball rolling. Even if you don't have time to talk and participate all the time, I definitely notice who are these participants that definitely make sure to make an effort to join us on Hangouts, listen in, sometimes, throw a gem or two into the conversation, or just, hang out, be awesome in the community. That's sometimes, well, that's all that we need to have this community going and growing, if you will, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't expect everybody to come in and be able to share their opinion and knowledge on the market. Some of us are rather new in this and more learning and more of this learning stage. Still, that's cool. That's why we do this, to have this community, to share our opinions, to converse about it, maybe to even disagree about these things, and it's completely fine. I saw Meta there. Xcali TV, you're forgetting we put a star here, just like Christoph told you. That really does help me notice stickers. Otherwise, I'll think that I don't know what I'll think. I'm just a moron, so I might not notice. That's the main issue. Okay, that sucks, right? I forgot Meta sucks. Should have reminded me first before I checked out Meta that it sucks. Yeah, Meta sucks. Okay, give me a sec. We're gonna need this structure right here for a second. There, it was that one, right? Right, it was this one. Sure, absolutely. Thank you, very clutch. Now, just let's switch from this off. Let's go here. Yeah, you're in this beautiful wedge, right? I remember wedgie. Little cheese wedge right there. Downwards into the wedgie. So testing this first. It appears to be, it wants to be more bearish. Although this could be very temporary, but I would argue that it's screaming it on the top of its lungs that it's bearish. So I would argue that you are going back down sooner than later to this place right here, which puts you roughly at around 56, 561, 564 with some slippage, 555. I am so not going to be surprised here if your actual support here is this beautiful thing. And it is very much a tricky bullshit number that completely made out of thin air because we're stupid like that. Don't ask. Trust me, you don't want to know. Don't forget that the people who work in the industry are goddamn mad people and have really serious, severe mental problems, okay? I'm just going to say that. We're not... We're a little bit crazy sometimes. We do some crazy things. Don't forget that. We're not always, not insane. I mean, look, I couldn't even see this from the external, right? But it appears to be that somehow I was able to discern that we crazy people do this weird, stupid behavior that we do. And I would argue this number was here before it was even established. Why? Because we're like that. We're just kind of weird people like that. It's hard to explain. It's just hard. Don't worry about it. Don't worry yourself about it. Some people need one kind of doctor. Some people need another kind of doctor. We're the sort of people that need the other kind. The special kind. What does your meta really say about itself? Your meta says that really it wants to visit that top channel, which makes sense right now, that 161.80. So meta says that it want to go there, right? That's what it says on the hourly, which completely makes sense. In fact, I'm not going to be surprised if you're going to glitch through that thing, maybe do some testing and then end up... I mean, you're obviously testing currently this sell, if you will. This is your space, if I can, just kind of like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get the idea. And what you are getting, far more likely than not, is... I mean, that bullish has to play itself out. So that's going to be 611 right there, right? It's going to be that, like we said. Most likely that thing. But then you're definitely doomed to still test this 590 sooner than later. In fact, I would argue that maybe you're not even going to make it that high first. But since you're in such a tight range, we'll see. You can definitely have this bullish momentum play out before that bearish momentum. That could be actually part of that end of the year thing, and only then downwards as the year begins. This is actually still bullish at face value, but then again it's starting to stink. Give it a little bit more, it will stink even worse. So your daily is also shitty, and your weekly is really shitty. So actually you're probably going down sooner than later, like we said. And in fact, if you're looking at your monthly, you realize you've been kind of out of bounds of the current channel. And I would argue that this is a longer duration channel, pretty much the one you've been in the first place. So yeah, just the same way you had some slippage right here, you're gonna have some slippage right here. So get ready. 420. Cool. 420, 420-ish, right? 420. Because the market is dumb like that, we might even see 420 as a level. You know what? It's gonna be so hilarious to see how just stupid humans are in the market. Humans. Humans. Yeah, so get ready. This might even be a thing. This is gonna be funny. In fact, wait, I'm curious. What is this? Well, why does this go? Wait. Let me check this out. Something here stinks. Where's that 420? What is that? What's going on here? What is this? Why is that's like pulling your pants up to your neck, what I just did. Okay, I mean, you can say that the market doesn't care about such things. I would argue that this is not a coincidence and some people are just bored out of their tits. That's just the reality. You see, I'm telling you, guys, we're mad people, not completely all healthy. Not everybody's there, you know? Not all healthy in the head. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that power 10 minutes. Look at that. Look at that. Now, how will that end? Probably miserably. Shortly. 1 minute. Let's see what the 1 minute does, what the 5 minute does. Oh, actually, that's bullish. What are you doing? What are you testing like the top of the channel? Yeah, are you trying to do this? Are you trying to surprise me with the 6,000? It's over 6,000. I mean, this is bullish. It's short range, but still bullish. This is also still bullish. It is all bullish still. Like this shit. What is this? What is this? Is this really bullish or is this faking? What do we think this is? This is, I think it's more bullish, but then again, it's more faking because you can actually see, you see it's kind of a lie. It is actually just testing the ceiling on the stochastic RSI of the oversold territory, and thus when it will converge back down, this thing will flip, which we can start to see some hints to it, and when it does, it breaks back down, and so it is not really bullish. It is faking being bullish. It's like somebody screaming, "Save me, I'm drowning," in knee-high water. All they need to do is sit up. Okay? That is bullshit. That's a lie. Don't trust it. See? See? Like I said, don't trust it. Questions, boys and girls. Questions. Session is coming to an end. Last Friday is coming to an end. Not all that exciting. I know it seems exciting. I know, but guys, girls, this is not really exciting. Boys, girls, whatever. Gentlemen, I'm just trying to be nice, you know. Making everybody feel young, you know. Plus, men don't age. We just level up. APP. APPP? What is that? Pen pineapple, apple pen. APPP. Apa apa. Apa apa. Apa apa. What is we do? What is we do? Okay, so your hourly definitely is testing that median and has been doing that for some time now. We can see that very same median being tested and the price action being elevated as the trend goes, ascending as the trend goes, respecting definitely that shorter range channel. We're definitely respecting that quicker one. That is positive, so that is probably bringing you back up into that median, but you're definitely developing that negative wedge. Let's see, that negative wedge, not surprisingly so, already appears on the 4-hourly and more big, and we're already in it in a way. But that is negative. That is far more indicative of that bottom being tested, right? That thing that I've mentioned right here, this thing. It's far more indicative of that. Let's make it less. What's going on? Less like that, maybe that would be nice. This, not really. What, that cool. Let's use purple. So yeah, I think what you're doing here is indicative of far more of that negative price action going to right here. You can see where it resides, right? Makes sense. This sort of coordinates and correlates to that very neatly, right? You can see that. And wow, that divergence on this one. Wow, I mean, you are getting ready to I don't want to be impolite, but yeah, we're seeing something very similar right here as we saw just a second ago. So you're getting ready to correct this downwards. It's similar. We just looked at this very similar structure. It's Meta APP have very similar. Murat, good to see you, brother, from another Russian-speaking mother. С Новым годом тебя. С наступающим. Thank you very much. С наступающим. Those who don't know, it's like it's a Russian way of saying before. Like we don't greet each other before the year ends with the year end because it hasn't ended yet. С наступающим implies that like I'm telling you happy holiday, but with not a yet new year, but with an upcoming new year, kind of. It's like happy new upcoming year, if you will. That's. I know some of you guys are surprised sometimes why I stutter and just get stuck with certain things, just say weird things. Just don't forget I speak 3 languages and my brain just thinks on all 3 all the time, kinda. And it's kinda crazy how not all structure. Pardon me, grammar doesn't work the same on all 3, so it ends up with me making weird sentences sometimes. Pardon me for that. Right? What were you saying there? I'm not even sure. When you do that, it confuses me. It's like so hard to switch back and forth, really, in terms of how the language works and how I express myself, but I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, because I could have read this "Nay, Greg," like Russian first, and then realize, oh no, he's actually saying "Hey, Greg." So, hey, Greg, what do you think about future of any quantum stocks? Actually, we just looked at quantum stocks just yesterday in yesterday's live, and quantum stocks look very good. This can easily overturn when the market will shit the bed very shortly. But currently, quantum stocks actually look somewhat better than the rest of the market. Quantum stocks actually look as if they are, although getting ready for somewhat of a correction, right? Downwards. But generally speaking, they appear to be as if they want to rally upwards before the rest of the market. They actually almost look as if they will do so prior. But then again, things can change. Quantum computing is a bit of a problem. People, I think, expect to see a quantum computer in their house tomorrow. Not gonna happen. Nope. We're very far away, and we're just kind of, sometimes looking at the past, and I maybe even think that it's good that these things were not announced until they were out of the diapers stage. Like the quantum computing thing is not even in the diaper stage yet. Okay, it's basically a toddler, a newborn, basically, okay? And we're treating it as if it's already a toddler, if you will. And we're not there yet. So there's a lot of room for us to see how things will play out. What's the indicator you use with the red and green lines? That is called stochastic RSI. It's called stochastic RSI. It's, here it is. Stochastic RSI. I use the default periods. There's nothing special about this. It's completely default. Normally on default you will see this blue and orange like that. Just to make it easier and to make sense to you guys, I make the K green and thicker like that, and I make the D red like that and thicker like that, and then you guys get to see this thing. That is that. So that's called stochastic RSI. It actually works this way. When it breaks above the 80 range, it's basically just like RSI, but since it's stochastic, it is actually extended, if you will, and uses different parameters to make sense of the market behavior. And you basically use 80 and 20. Right, you get this is a 20 range, this is an 80 range. Very important to know about the 50 range, which is right here in the middle. And as long as we are above the 50, we're bullish. When we're above the 80, we're extra bullish. We're in fact seeing the effect of the bullish momentum getting amplified, especially when that line, the green line, is dominant, being on top. Right, you can see how this is below and this is on top, right? In this instance, it switches over. Red is on top, green below. And once we cross over that 50 range, it becomes a lot more bearish. And here it becomes very bearish, like beyond the 20 range, it becomes like super bearish, right? That is the way you should be familiar with this tool. Simplest way to explain it. All right. What else? What else? What else? I'm gonna. Stupid here. Christoph, you're not stupid. Stop it. The same thing you were explaining. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody's stupid here. Everybody's smart. The fact that you're here already proves that you're smart, you see? Sure. I'm glad to help. Time to more. Murat, no, it is not time to do anything. It's time to be smart and wait, and do your own analysis on these assets and consider and do whatever you think. This is not financial advice. God damn it! What are you doing, Murat? What are you doing? When do you believe trading will return to normal volume levels after the holidays? Yes, absolutely. Normally, we'll see a quick pickup of volume right after the holidays. Especially under the conditions we're in right now, I'm not gonna be surprised if volume will pick up very rapidly, like whoosh, like a storm. One million qubits to break known crypto. We're currently nearly 1K. Okay, so I see. So long way to go with quantum. Yeah, no, absolutely. Stupid is still better than useless. Useless! Are you trying to get me mad on purpose? What is this? What is this thing? What are you doing? Useless. What is this nonsense? Alrighty, boys and girls, I think we can adjourn today's session. Post market seems to be very tame and boring, and I doubt we'll see anything all that surprising. Of course, it's not financial advice. Yes, yeah. Thanks, Greg, Christoph, Hoth. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Murat. Thank you, Useless. Thank you, Next Level. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Xcali. Thank you, Black Mamba. Thank you, Casey. And Blackberry. Thank you, Blackberry. Absolutely. And thank all of you for joining this wonderful stream. And thank everybody who will be watching it later. And thanks everybody who joined and didn't say hello and was being a ninja viewer in the background. Thank you too. Thanks everybody. I wish you a wonderful weekend. A really good final weekend of 2024. Celebrate it, hang out with your family. Remember, markets are important, and that is stuff we do almost on a daily basis, some of us and whatnot. But remember, real life, family, friends is a lot more important than all this nonsense. Have fun, hang out, have a blast, eat good food, watch good movies, have some, fun games with your family, whatever you guys do, however you guys hang out. Yeah, have a blast, boys and girls. Don't forget that all of this is secondary and family comes first. Do that wonderful tradition of hanging out with them, loving them. Yeah, that's it. Love you all. Have a wonderful Christmas and end of the year, boys and girls. Happy Hanukkah as well. Bye bye.